What's up, everybody? So today we are going to be talking about Disney, if you couldn't tell. Kyle and I get this question a lot from friends and family and other people that message me on Instagram and Facebook on where we like to stay at Disney World, what's our favorite hotel, who has the cheapest hotel, all those questions. So I figured I'd go through a quick kind of rundown and review of all of the hotels we've stayed at so far. We've done about half of them, so I'm just going to run through the list. It is in no particular order. We didn't group them by least expensive, most expensive, alphabetical, none of that. So just kind of went down the list. So I hope you guys enjoy it. So one of the big overall kind of perks of staying at Disney World, of course, is that you have the parks right at your disposal. You have Disney transport right there, whether it's the bus, the Skyliner, boats, monorail. You have all the access you need to get to the parks once you get on Disney Resort property, which is a really nice part of staying on property. The other reason I like to stay on property is because the theming of the hotels is excellent. No matter which one you stay at, you definitely get a different experience based on kind of how they're themed and laid out. The other big thing, now that the 50th anniversary has come and all the hotels are now in phased opening after COVID, almost every hotel room's been redone at Disney, and if it's not, it's going to be done soon if they haven't been built, I want to say in like the last few years even. They're redoing everything. So huge perk of the rooms compared to maybe some of the hotels that aren't on Disney property, even though they may be a little bit more expensive at Disney. Definitely one of the big things. The one downside though to staying at Disney since 2022 started-ish, a little bit before that, is that there is no Magical Express anymore. So instead of being able to get essentially free transport to your resort, you either have to pay to take what is pretty much a Magical Express that's run by Mears to the hotel, or you have to pay for parking after renting a car, or you have to Uber. So it depends on your family, obviously, which one's best for you. People that like to be at Disney for a long time but want to explore Orlando or go to the outlet mall nearby, which is like really good, and people that stay for a long time do that. You're going to need a car, but then you're going to have to pay for parking. So you got to kind of make that choice. For people with big families with a lot of luggage, I would think the bus is probably going to be your better bet. Otherwise, a family of 6, you may need 2 Ubers. If you've got, a suitcase per kid plus a carry-on plus all of you, it's going to be hard for you to fit in one Uber, even an XL. So it's a little bit harder that way, and it's a little bit of a bummer, which everyone is still kind of bummed about, and I'm sure will be for a long time, that they've lost that access. But just something to think about when you're kind of looking at places and looking at Disney is that is a new change. If you used to go to Disney years ago, that has changed since COVID. So those are kind of my overall pros and cons. I'm sure I'll think of more as we go along. Starting with the first hotel that I have written down is Coronado. We stayed there before they put in the new tower, and we've stayed there after they put in the new tower and redone everything. So we have the experience of like the old buildings and of staying in the tower. I personally liked both. The tower is gorgeous, no question about it. I mean, all the NBA players stayed there when they did the COVID bubble at the ESPN Center. A couple of the teams were there, and they wouldn't have stayed there if it wasn't a beautiful hotel. So that was, a big experience that I really enjoyed. It was really, really pretty. Everything was new. And even though we were looking out at the parking lot from our room, honestly, it was still really cool because of the height that we were at. I think we were on like the 9th floor or something, like definitely higher than 3rd, 4th floor, which is what most Disney hotels cap at. So that was definitely a cool experience. I do like the 2-story buildings. It's set up a lot like the Caribbean hotels. our hotel resort. And I really like the little kind of, I think of it almost like a bungalow. I think they're cute. I think they're fun. I think it gives it kind of a rustic vibe because you're not talking about like, fresh, modern, super modern Mexico without like talking about their history. So, like, I think it kind of pays a tribute to like the historical buildings, if you will. But I just think it's really fun and kind of cool to wander through all the little bungalows. So, their rooms are plenty big for a hotel room. They have, bed, showers, the normal stuff that anyone has. But the things that we like, amenities that we have tried at Coronado, is their pool. Super cool. It is out. You have to like walk over bridges to get there, over the lagoon lake, if you will. And it has a pyramid in it. And it is super cool. There's 2 water slides, a little slide for like little kids, and then the bigger water slide. We thought it was awesome. It feels like you've like come up to this oasis in the middle of a jungle because the trees are all around it. There's a bar out there. It's really, really fun. My mom and I really enjoyed it when we went there. Kyle and I haven't swam at that pool together, but my mom and I did when she came with us the first time we stayed there. So really liked that. Places we've eaten at Coronado include Three Bridges, which is a high recommendation from us. We loved it. The hard part about it is a non-reservation restaurant, so it's only walk up, so your wait could be super long, it could be super short. And if you're not staying there and you like try to drive into the hotel, I don't know if they're gonna let you in, to be quite honest. You would probably have to take a bus to get there and then take a bus to wherever you want to go next. But the food is definitely worth it. The elotes in a bowl, I could have eaten that alone as a meal, but really good. The El Mercado de Coronado is the kind of regular cafeteria there, which is also really good. Really enjoyed that. So, big fan of Coronado. Moving on to the next hotel that we've stayed at would be Port Orleans. I'm doing it together as Riverside and French Quarter. They're technically 2 separate, but you can easily walk between the 2. Just when you go to like book a room, you either are booking at Port Orleans Riverside or you're booking at Port Orleans French Quarter. So just keep that in mind. Like I said, if you wanted to stay at one, couldn't, and had to stay at the other, you can easily walk to the other. Like you can walk to French Quarter and get beignets. It's not that hard. And it's a really pretty walk actually. But we love these hotels. I think they're gorgeous. I think if you are going to take a bunch of family pictures for whatever reason, I would actually do it at Riverside because they have these huge, like, sprawling homes that are supposed to be, like, representative of plantation homes from the South. They have beautiful, like, flower gardens in front of them and a gazebo and all this stuff. So I made Kyle take a bunch of pictures of me there because I love it. French Quarter, also super cool vibe. You feel like you've walked into downtown New Orleans, and I just love that about it. They have like their little cartoon alligator and band like playing instruments like in the street, if you will, of the resort, and I thought that was really cute. So definitely hits on the aesthetic points. The other thing we really like about it is it does have a boat to Disney Springs in addition to the bus system, so makes that a little bit easier. We loved this hotel when we stayed there for Run Disney as well. We stayed there when we did Wine and Dine, our second Disney race. It is right across the street, if you will, over the bridge from the finish line for Wine and Dine races at Epcot. So you're literally on the bus for like 3.3 seconds, which is awesome because after you run, you're like, I just want to get home, shower kind of deal once you get on the bus. So it's really nice that it's a short bus ride. The only thing with that is because it is kind of closer quarters over there a little bit, and not everyone that's staying there may be necessarily like Run Disney. It was a little bit noisy. Like I wouldn't say that I was able to go to bed at like 9 o'clock at night, without hearing kids like running across, which is fine. I mean, it's Disney. I wasn't throwing a fit or anything, but it's just not quiet if you're looking for somewhere that's going to be quieter. The pools, the one at Riverside, Kyle and I went to on a Sunday before we left, and they actually had a make your own Bloody Mary bar, which was epic. Kyle really, really enjoyed that. So I recommend their pool. I think the theming's great. I think the theming of the French Quarter pool is also very cool. So definitely worth trying out and checking out. The other thing that they have there, and it starts at Riverside, I don't think it starts at French Quarter, but they do have horse-drawn carriages, so you can go out there, you can reserve. I don't know if you can reserve sooner than like the day of. Kyle and I actually reserved it the day of, like half hour before, and they take you on a carriage ride kind of around the resort. It's really pretty. It was really fun. The driver was nice. He took a bunch of our pictures like with the horse. It was super fun. I highly recommend it. Food wise, besides the Bloody Mary bar, if they still have it at the pool on Sundays, we ate at the Rivermill food court. That is really good. I mean, it's pretty much a run-of-the-mill food court, but the food's really good. The one in French Quarter that I cannot pronounce, Sasagula Flatworks. Sorry if I butchered that. I have terrible pronunciation skills, but that one has a lot of fun desserts like beignets. It's a big hit with everyone when they go there. They truly love it. So definitely recommend that as well as somewhere to stay and somewhere to eat. I have not eaten at the restaurant in the Riverside part of Port Orleans, but we've heard really good things, so that is on our list. Our next hotel, as I flip my page to my other notes, would be Caribbean. So Caribbean Resort, also one of my favorites. I really like Caribbean. They now, since the Skyliner opens, have Skyliner access and bus access to the park. So the Skyliner will take you to Hollywood or Epcot. I love the Skyliner. My friends that are afraid of heights even love the Skyliner. It's just a really cool experience. So I definitely recommend it. I even know people that ride it just because their kids want to ride it when they're like, you know, the kids are tired of the park and all that stuff. So definitely worth it. That being said, their location is awesome. It is kind of right in that pod over by like Port Orleans. It's not like a Hollywood Epcot resort area, but it's not like in the middle of nowhere. I just think it's really convenient if you want to get to stuff relatively quickly. It's kind of, I think, centrally located-ish. I also really like this pool. They have a 0 entry at one end, which for me I really like because sometimes I just want to like half sit in the pool, and it's just a really nice pool. It's got a lot of like little coves, and it's just really nicely decorated with, I like think of it like Little Mermaid-ish because there's like the big castle pieces to it. I can't think of the fancy term for that, I'm sorry, but I think it's really cool. The water slide looks fun. Every time we're there, the kids are having a ball in the pool. Definitely worth it. I also, again, this is one of those hotels that it's spread out really far, but they have like the little pods of rooms, which I think is cool, and each like pod is its own island, which is fun, helps kids remember it, helps adults remember where they're staying. And I think it's nice that it's a little bit bigger because you kind of get a wind through, and there's some nice paths to walk or run over there. So it is just a really nice area with some nice spots where you can like find a hammock and relax and stuff. So I think it's one of my favorites. The Centertown Market, they just redid when they redid the hotel. It's very nice in there. The food there is really good. It's got a little bit of a Caribbean flair, which I like, so that one's really good as well. That is it for part 1 of the Disney Hotel rundown. If you guys have liked this video, make sure you like it and leave some awesome comments. Also, be sure to subscribe to our channel, and we will have part 2 for you soon.